Alright, so we're going to jump into it today with Ugin. We're going to try a colorless deck. This deck is pretty tough because you got to have a lot of ramp. It's really just a race. And unfortunately, once you start doing the cool thing with this deck, the opponents usually scoop. So when they see the writing on the wall, they know it's coming. But at the same time, you know the cool stuff is coming too. So you still get that satisfying victory. Looks like they're going to play Yargle. This is a really great hand. I love having that Ancient Tube, and I am going to go first too. So, oh no. Okay, so that was an accident. I didn't mean to mulligan, but somehow I still ended up with that Ancient Tube. So, yeah, I'm going to keep that this time. And I think I might just... I don't know if I should play Winter Moon right now. I might want to wait to see what kind of lands I have first. And they're going to scoop it up anyway. Yeah, it looks like they just got a bad hand there. So we'll jump into this and we'll try it again, see what happens. Hopefully we can get a decent game. I swear whenever I try to record a video, the matches that I get are just terrible. I can be having the best day of Magic that I've ever had on this game, and then as soon as I try to record a video, it seems like all the matchups I get are just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. This is okay, so I am going to get to start with Gemstone Caverns. And maybe Worn Power Stone on turn 2. I don't need to exile anything, but I guess I don't have a choice, so I'm just going to do Vexing Bubble. And then I'll crack this open on their turn to go ahead and grab that extra card. And then I can cast Worn Power Stone, and I'll be in a pretty good spot. It'll be pretty cool if I can get this out too. So I can cast this right now. I guess it will slow them down a little bit. This guy is really difficult to deal with because he's going to start making copies of creatures with ETB effects. So I can either put Torpor Orb to try to mitigate whatever, ETB effects they might be looking to get, or I can just make his stuff more expensive to cast, which I think I'll do this. I mean, it's going to slow him down a little bit. And if I don't get any more land, then I'll go ahead and drop the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. Oh, that is Burnished Heart, though. That does kind of work. Yeah, I think I'm going to risk it. I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll crack it right away and grab those lands. So next turn, I should be able to play my commander for sure. Okay, now is a really good time to play my commander because my life is getting pretty low, so it's time to start trying to deal with some of this stuff on the board. Now, unfortunately, because these are colorless, I can't remove these from the board, so I'm just going to have to deal with those now until I can find a way to sacrifice or to remove those somehow. And if he wants to sacrifice that, that doesn't matter, as long as it's off the board. Rather it's exiled with Ugin, or rather he sacrifices it. That's fine. And because there's really nothing that I can use removal on with Ugin, I'm just going to go ahead and gain the life and draw a card. And I think now's a good time for Torpor Orb. I'm not sure what these commanders do. Okay, so this one's going to do damage, and this one's whenever it enters. So this one will be slowed down a little bit. This one is going to be a problem to deal with until I can... That should be okay. I think I'm in a pretty good spot right now. Unless he can make some more colorless creatures, I'm not going to be losing a whole lot of life. He can attack Ugin, that's fine. I'll recast him if I need to.
I will not die here again.
Okay, well, they're going to do some of that work for me, and they're going to go ahead and remove those creatures, so... My guess is they might be looking for like a Sheoldred's Edict to try to get rid of Ugin, or maybe that that artifact that negates planeswalkers. This could be a pretty good option right now, just to draw the cards, and then I can always make more mana with Ugin. Tezzeret's pretty good too, because I can untap artifacts with it. Yeah, I think I should be able to do both, so I'm going to start with him. And then I'll just draw some cards.
Belongs to the patient.
Yeah, that's good. I get a land, so I can cast Tezzeret. Unfortunately, I can't exile anything right now. But I am going to use him to untap the Power Stone. That way I can get some more value out of this. Play some more cards, do some more things.
I grant you a boot.
And I'll just gain some life, draw more cards. So unfortunately, there's just nothing that I can exile right now. I have to wait until he casts something that I can target. I do have some creatures in the deck that I can use to try to take over the board presence a little bit, but I just have to wait until I draw into them. If I need to, I can use Fountain Port to just try to get one more card here and there, make a token, and then sacrifice it, but that's going to take a couple turns. Restore target. Yeah, that's fair. I don't blame him for doing that. That's alright. Yeah, that card is really annoying to have to deal with. That's completely fair play. That's okay, go ahead. And I might even pay some life to draw a card here too. Yeah, they're just gonna scoop. I think they knew they were in a situation where whatever spell they cast, they had to get a ton of value from it, otherwise it's gonna be gone on their next turn, so... let's go ahead and try and jump into another one, see what happens. Hopefully I'll be able to actually get a little bit more use out of Ugin this turn. And I know Ugin is a terrible commander, and I'm being the bad guy today. Anytime I face Ugin against one of my other decks that I'm playing, it's never something I look forward to having to put up with. And it's always a race against it too. I know as soon as Ugin gets casted, if they have enough mana to do that, then by that time I usually just go ahead and scoop, because I know I don't really have a very good chance of getting ahead with that. And opponent plays first, but I do have Gemstone Caverns here, so I am going to start with some mana. And this is pretty good removal. Yeah, I think I'm going to just get rid of Kozilek. I'm not going to cast that anytime soon. And depending on what I draw into, I think I'm going to play Realm Breaker next turn. So they are playing green-white, so there's a pretty good chance they're going to put some kind of shroud or hexproof on their creatures. This is going to be a problem too. That's going to make more tokens than I'm going to be able to keep up with, so I think they might actually have me here. I'm too far behind on mana to be able to really do much next turn. If I played Foundry Inspector on my last turn, then I could have dropped a land and then played Mightstone to kill the Adeline. But that was, you know, it's too late for that, so let's just go ahead and see what I can do. Hopefully I can get a land from them. And that is a bust, so that is pretty disappointing. So I think I've pretty much lost this game. On my next turn, I can kill Adeline because I'll just drop the Mightstone, but then I'm still stuck with whatever, you know, tokens they were able to make. And my life is going to take a pretty big hit right here too. Yeah, they're going to get some card draw going. Yeah, aggro is definitely one of the ways that you can beat this deck. It's getting to the point now where there's just too much value on the board, where it's going to take forever to try to get rid of all of it with Ugin's ability. And I don't have a lot of board wipes in this deck. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. I mean, I think the pretty obvious move here is to go ahead and attack. They're going to take their time. I don't know what they're thinking about. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. And that's going to be game. Yeah, that was fair. That's, you know what, that's token aggro. That's tough to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and jump into probably one more here and see what we can do. So far, I haven't really had the greatest luck. Like I said, whenever I try to actually record a video, yeah, I just get the worst matchups. I was playing this deck earlier today, and I got quite a few good games with it. But of course, I wasn't recording earlier. This is decent. So I've got turn 2 ramp into turn 3 ramp. I think I'll start by dropping Fabled Passage and just crack it for a tap land. So they're playing mono black, which is usually full of a lot of creature removal. And I am not playing a lot of creatures, so let's see how this plays. I do have Circuit Mender, which if they want to cast removal on it, I'm perfectly fine with that because I'm just going to draw a card from it. I'm going to go with the Iron Crag over the Ornithopter because they are playing black, so pretty good chance they're going to have creature removal here. This is going to be pretty good. I don't know if they're going to have any... Well, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I think they saw I was doing pretty good with ramp. I'm not really sure why they scooped, but... Either way, that was a short game, so I will try one more here and see if maybe we can get something going with Ugin. I know it is pretty annoying to deal with. Sometimes when I match up with people, they'll just look at the commander and they'll just scoop because they don't want to deal with that, and that's respectable. I'll do the same thing sometimes, like if I get matched up against a mono blue and I'm playing like a creature heavy deck, like I don't feel like doing it. Like I already know what's going to happen. I don't want to sit through it. So this one, yeah, this hand I'm not going to be able to keep. There's just not enough going here. This is really slow ramp. And they're playing Oh, they're gonna, yeah, they're playing first. Yeah, this is a little bit better. I'll try this. It looks like they're gonna have quite a few counter spells. They are playing control colors here, so we'll see what happens. This is an alchemy card. I've seen people playing this online. I haven't really seen a ton of value from it. I guess it's okay. I think the best thing about it is just the colors. It just gives you access to a lot of good cards. And they're going to start their turn with ramp too. And now they're going to have more ramp. Doesn't matter what color. Yeah, they're going to get a ton of mana from this pretty early on. They can tap all their creatures. They really don't have anything to worry about there. This is going to come in untapped, so that's going to let me cast it that heralds the end, which is going to make Ugin a little bit cheaper to cast. So I should be able to cast it on my next turn. Hopefully make some mana with him, and then cast Stone of, I guess that's Eric or whatever it is. Be able to get rid of some of this board presence here. Is it going to be enough? Well, never mind. Now I am behind one turn. So if I can actually live long enough to cast Ugin, I can follow up on my next turn with Portal to Phyrexia and then Ulamog. If I live long enough, that is. There's what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage on the board right now. I think I'm just going to take all the damage as long as they don't put their creatures up anymore. Yo, I think I'll block their commander, actually. That's gonna save me quite a bit of damage here. Okay, so I feel like I have a chance, but I don't know if I actually do here. Especially if they have counter magic. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so that's gonna be game. Yeah, they got me. Well, I'm pretty disappointed about how these videos went. I played some games earlier today and I actually got some really good games. Of course, though, as soon as I try to record, they're just terrible. It's a bummer. I was hoping to get some better footage out of that. I guess, yeah, I'll give it one more game here. We'll see what happens. But I think after this one, whatever happens, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I think Arena just doesn't want me playing this deck anymore. I think the game's like, you know what, you had your fun this morning, so it's time to just call it quits now. They were nice enough to me, and now they've had enough. So they are gonna go first. My ramp isn't great. I'm gonna mulligan this. Hope to get something a little bit better. This is okay. Still pretty slow ramp, but I'll try it. Yeah, going second in Brawl is never good. There's really never any good value out of going second. That doesn't seem to be the case with every TCG, but for Magic, it's never good, especially when it's just 1v1. So if I cast him, that's not going to help me ramp, but it will let me tutor another artifact. But I don't have any 1 mana. Yeah. I think I better just play it safe here and just try to ramp. They are playing blue too, so they could have some counter spells. Okay, but they're playing out of their graveyard, so I do have some graveyard interaction, not a lot. That's going to give me the most value. That's pretty good. So I can't actually cast this to get rid of Panharmonicon, so I might want to hold on to it. If I do that, though, I guess I'll get rid of this. So he can cast his commander next turn, but there's nothing in his graveyard, so it's really not going to make a difference. The best bet might be to just try to ramp some more here. So what do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess it doesn't really matter. I should have enough to cast my commander anyway. Let's just get rid of it. He probably thinks I was roping him there, which I wasn't, but... Ooh, that kind of hurts. That's going to slow me down quite a bit. That's okay though. I'll cast him and then I'll get some mana from Mox Opal and then untap it with Tezzeret. I should be able to tap that for mana now. He does count as an art. Oh, he's not an artifact. Okay, so that changes things a little bit. In that case, I guess I'll just tutor.
Just what I needed.
I think Vexing Bubble is probably the safe choice here because that's going to slow down their graveyard interaction.
My network is already vast.
This is kind of a problem here.
This will suffice for now.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had a lot of removal from my artifacts that I was really relying on. I might just have to cast my commander the good old-fashioned way, with just actually paying the mana value for it. There's a really good chance they're gonna have counter magic. They do have one blue source, so it's not gonna be mana drain. I think maybe the Might Stone and then tap it to cast the Power Stone. I can't pay the ward cost for the commander, but I can get rid of the hydroponics, at least for now. I think they're going to want to get rid of that Stone of Eric. This is pretty good if I had some Eldrazi's. They do have 2 blue mana open right now. So I can still cast this anyway, and I'll just pay the ward for their commander. So they might counter it, but their commander is still going to get targeted anyway. I'll gladly pay the ward.
I am the master of this.
Okay, so no protection for the commander and no counter spell for my commander. So that, I was not expecting that. I thought that was going to go much worse than it did. So instead of ramping, let's go ahead. They don't have anything I can remove, so I'm just going to gain some life and draw a card here.
Open your mind to possibility.
Yeah, let's get the replicating ring going.
Power belongs to the patient.
Oh, you know, maybe they actually wanted their commander to get blown up there so they could recast it. I didn't think about that, but that's fine. I mean, it's gonna go down again here, so that's no problem.
Such disharmony is disappointing.
And I do have enough to pay ward. Are they going to protect it this time? Okay, so they're going to sack it for mana. Yeah, and in response I'm going to exile their graveyard. So, do I make the mana or do I gain 3 and draw a card? I don't think I played a land this turn. Maybe I'll draw into that. not quite. But that is a free spell to cast, though.
Focus. Breathe.
Okay, Commander's back. Only one thing in their graveyard right now. So I know they have 2 copies of that same card. If this resolves, I won't have to worry about counter spells, at least until they cast their removal on it. I mean, we're both playing pretty much the same game right now. I'm playing removal, they're playing removal. They're making tons of copies of this card. So they're going to keep blowing up all my artifacts and anything that's causing a problem for them. So this kind of interacts with their graveyard too, but the way their commander works, I don't think it's really going to slow them down. Because he's not casting cards from his graveyard, he's just making a copy of it. Well, let's gain some life here. Yeah, nothing to exile.
Preparation yields success.
Let's gain some life. This would be really good to cast. I know it's just going to get blown up again, but at the same time, his commander is getting pretty dang expensive, so I don't know how many more times he's going to want to recast it. And then I think just to get some value out, I'm going to go ahead and cast that.
I am the master of this world.
And why not? Let's do this. Let's take a look at their top deck, see what they're playing with.
Knowledge is a virtue.
Damnation. That's, you know what? Not a big deal. I can live with that. I'm not really counting on these creatures so much. And I know they're playing nothing but removal anyway, so it's not really going to be a change. Yeah, can't cast any of that. Yeah, he was pretty close to doing his ultimate, so they really wanted to take care of him. Okay, so they're going to slow me down on the mana a little bit. I do have some land, so I'm going to cast him anyway. I'm just going to have to wait a little bit longer to actually cast the God Pharaoh statue.
I grant you.
And even if they have the open mana, I still have Shimmer of the Sundown, so they can't counter any of my stuff yet. Alright, so the question here is gain 3 and draw a card. There's really nothing I can blow up, so I don't think there's much point. It might be good just to get another mana rock down in case they try to blow up my commander again. I'm just gonna go for the card draw.
Open your mind to possibility.
I am in pretty difficult of a situation because I do have some creatures, but I know because they're playing all that removal, I really don't have any protection for them. So this could be a really long game. I know they're gonna just remove it next turn, so there's not much reason to cast that, but I'll just do it anyway. So something like a Cyclonic Rift here would set me back quite a bit. I don't know if I would have went with Toxic Deluge there. I think I would have just done the Damnation unless they need to hold the mana up or something. This is a pretty safe bet. They're not going to be able to blow it up with any of their removal. It'll keep me from being targeted with anything.
I am the master of this world.
And let's go ahead and put that mana tax on him right now too.
Grant you a boon.
And draw a card and gain some life and pass the turn.
The wise heed my advice. Knowledge is a virtue.
This is a pretty awkward game because we're both playing such removal heavy decks that I'm not really sure where this is going to end up going. They do have blue, so they've got access to stuff that's going to send things back to my hand, and that might be just enough. It might be what they need to swing in for lethal. Nothing they can do this turn. That's going to come in with Rest Sickness, and I've got protection from the ring anyway. And I might actually go ahead and just draw with a 1 ring. Since I'm getting 3 life with him, yeah, he's going to scoop. I don't blame him. I mean, I think if he kept playing that game for a little bit longer, he actually could have had a pretty good chance at winning. Especially if they could cast, some kind of board wipe, Cyclonic Rift, put all that stuff back in my hand. They could get a little head start to get some presence on the board. I did have a little bit more graveyard interaction too, somewhere in the deck. So I think they probably just didn't want to sit through it. But if I was them, I would have probably played it out and tried to see what would happen. But anyway, he did come out with the win. He got to see some cool Ugin stuff. That's pretty much what he does. I do have some other pretty big Eldrazi spells or colorless spells that will give me some value if I'm able to cast them more towards the end game just to try to get that win con going. But that is Ugin.